Hey, welcome back to the Crypto Bros, and this is episode 15. Oh, I mean, cha- chaotic exposure. This is episode 15, and Neil is dressed as Prison Mike right now. And can you sing us the song?
No,
He just did. He did it so beautifully.
and I'm. It's more like Dwight than Michael welcoming.
You knew he was going to correct you. If you're
Yeah,
wrong, he
and
will correct you.
the episode is when they're welcoming from Josh's branch,
Oh,
and
yeah.
they do a music welcome to Scranton music video,
Mhm.
and it's the Electric City,
That's
and Dwight goes, "What? The Electric City? What?"
I like the
Can we do
dances
this
with
now?
it, though. Yeah, can we take a shot? Because it's been that kind of morning with
Yeah,
Neil
let's do
starting
it.
shit that I have to take care of. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
So, whew, that was a burn. So we have this really. I love watching Neil try to recover from a shot every week. We had this meeting yesterday, the three of us, and it was important. We were going over.
Are we talking about all that or no?
No, not really.
Okay.
Just let me finish. Jesus.
Just asking.
So we're going trying to get Dragon to come into this call with us, and we're like trying to ping him. We're waiting on him. So I go into her chat and ping him, but I dropped off one of the googly-eyed booty gifs where the girl's got like googly eyes on her ass, and she's like, I'm gonna have to share this now for people to understand. But this girl is like twerking with these googly eyes on her ass. I mean, it's impressive. And so I shared that. I shared that and pinged Dragon to get his attention. So he comes in, and all of a sudden we hear his little daughter go, "Ew!" She saw it, and then she says, "That's Daddy." Oh, I could not gain my composure. It was so funny. I felt kind of bad that she saw it. But then when she said it was Daddy, I'm like, what the fuck? Dragon, what do you do? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there.
That was good stuff.
I'm not gonna expose myself that much with that part.
The people want to know, Dragon, do you twerk with googly eyes, or is that like...
And I feel like if you want to see that GIF, you have to join our Discord and ask to see it.
Right. Yeah, we'll just launch it all day tomorrow or the next day.
Yeah, we'll have a bot to put it up like every 5 minutes.
It just cycles. So, was it a week or two? Somehow we got on the subject of adult purchases in the Misfits Discord, because that's normal. And
Oh my
I
gosh.
brought up Adam and Eve, and I told the
Oh,
story
shit.
I told the story to Alyssa. I was like, "Do you want to hear a really embarrassing story?" And you guys, I don't think were in the chat, so I was okay with telling it. But now I'm telling it, so it doesn't matter. So I went on this business trip. It's been a few years, and I had my parents checking on my house and like getting my mail and stuff. And so I come home, I'm going through all my mail, and there's a magazine, an Adam and Eve magazine, in this pile of mail. And it's not even like current resident. It legit has my name and address on it, which means you've ordered from us in the past and we want you to order more. But my dad got my mail and never said a single word. Like didn't even touch it. So I know that he saw like this big Adam and Eve catalog in my mail. I'm like mortified. So we talk about this. Well, I think Snow was like, "What's Adam and Eve?" And then that turned into him Googling stuff, which I was like, please
Oh,
don't
no.
do that right now. And then he starts sharing stuff, but he typed in Adam and something else. And it was like I'm not even going to address what it was right now, but it was not what we were talking about. So then Neil calls me later that day, and I tell him that we were talking about Adam and Eve in the Discord.
Oh my god.
I shit you not. He starts talking about Genesis, and I said, "Dude, the adult store, not the Bible."
No,
He went
but
into this whole big spiel about the book of Genesis, and I'm like,
Chapter
what's
1
happening?
specifically.
Yes,
It's
starts
actually
going all
fascinating.
Bible, and he tells me
Yeah.
this. It went on for several minutes, and I'm like, what the hell is he talking about this for? And I'm like, oh my God, I'm talking about the adult store, not the Bible. And he's like, oh.
I mean, so it's I got excited because like the first chapter of Genesis is not part of a book. It's actually a song that starts the book of Genesis, and the historical concept there is incredible about the implication of the creation account.
And we were not on that topic at all. It was literally like heaven and hell conversations, like that different of a conversation.
I'm just a baby. I don't know nothing.
I'm just a baby.
I've had
Just
Adam
a
and Eve.
baby.
Like
You've had
I've
Adam and
ordered
Eve?
stuff from there too,
Uh-oh.
and
He
they've
likes
sent
it when he get. Never mind.
they've they've sent mail with my name on it to my parents.
Come on,
Oh.
Yeah, my parents' house.
Yeah.
that's not real.
Yeah,
I want to. It happens. And
I can change the subject.
please.
I can
and
talk
thank
about
you.
the mythical creature I ran into in my life.
I am curious about that. I saw that in Discord, but I didn't touch it because I didn't know what to say.
So, I used to live in this little crappy trailer with like pretty much the forest in the backyard, and so I was building a chicken coop, and there was this giant tree above me, and then I hear this like like scream, screech, like creepy thing like right above me. It was on the tree. And I just froze because I thought it was like some mythical, like phoenix bird, like giant. I don't know what I was thinking. So I wasn't moving, and then I hear it like move around, and then it ran off, and then I hear this scream and screech like in the distance. So I never told anyone about it, and then like later on, like a couple years later, I find out that mountain lions scream and all that. So I looked it up, and it was exactly that noise. So it was
Oh
just a
my
mountain lion.
Oh my gosh! Come on.
But
That's not
I
real.
seriously thought it was like some mythical creature, and I never told anyone about it because I'm like, no one's gonna believe me.
Oh my gosh.
I have a similar story. It's not. It's a little more darker, but
Of course
I
it
haven't
is.
told it to anybody before.
Oh, this is perfect place for your secret's safe
Right.
with me and
Yeah.
Dragon.
No one
listens to
listens.
this anyways.
No one listened. Damn. I was a drug abuser in my youths, right? And there was a place, I won't say where, that cooked crystal meth. And the first time I ever went there, the uncle of my friend that lived there brought me over to this hog pen. And this is whiskey. This is why I fell in love with the show Justified, because of this experience. They literally walked me to the hog pen and said, if you ever bring anyone here, police or otherwise, you'll be inside that hog. And this guy was like 6'2", 400 pounds. Like it was like the wrong turn type level. This is South Mississippi, all right? This is ghetto cowboy world that I'm in. And,
Like Harlan.
Yeah, like Harlan. And this is why I fell in love with that show so hard. But anyways, they had some property, and their grandma was a cop, oddly enough. But she had no idea. I don't know. I have some crazy stories about this property that I could go into. I'm not going there on the podcast. I got crazy stories from this property that I can't, what is that called? Yeah, whatever that is.
This was short-lived, if you continue. It was fun
Yeah.
while it lasted.
But what I will say is one day we were walking around. We had we're doing other things, and we're walking, and I saw what only can be described as like a terrifying, slightly smaller, like what I would picture Bigfoot to look like, and like in my face, screaming. And like we threw some shit at it and it ran off, but man alive. And I'm convinced as a Christian
to piss it off.
that was a demon. Like I'm convinced like that was like a legit demon, hell raised psycho thing. Or it was just a hallucination of not sleeping for days on end. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
I'm gonna go with that one.
It can
but...
be a skinwalker.
yeah, totally. It was
Or
crazy.
chupacabra.
Oh my gosh.
We're not a conspiracy podcast at all. But
No,
like I'm just saying,
it's-
We weren't.
I've never been more terrified in my life as I was. I was less scared of his uncle threatening to feed me to hit the hogs than I was this thing on his property. But
Not
anyways.
confirm nor deny that you actually saw. Did anyone else say that they saw it?
Well, it was like a group experience. There was a few of us there.
So multiple people, and you were all jacked.
I mean, I hadn't slept for a number of days.
Moving on.
We could clip this part out.
Oh
Nobody wants to
no,
listen to
this is gonna be like the best episode. I've been trying to bring back the Rowdy Misfit spaces. It's just taken a lot out of me to keep up with spaces. I understand why Alex and Tom.
I just will say there's some things from that stays in the space.
I don't remember everything that happened that night, so I think you're safe. I don't know what all went down that night. Honestly, where I was going with this was so I set this space. I've been trying to do the Rowdy Misfit space every Thursday night just for like the community to hang out. I did drink a lot of Fireball that night. I looked at my phone later and realized that I renamed the space to Shit Show. So something happened in the process.
I remember that.
And on top of that, I look at my text messages the next morning after I feel extremely hungover and realize that I text Alex and I said that I had to remove Misfits from my space title to not bring like reproach on the Misfits. And then said that I'm fairly certain I did Alex Borat impressions in the space as well.
Yes.
But I don't remember doing those. Not only Alex impressions and not just Borat impressions, but Alex doing Borat impressions was what happened. And this is why I don't record spaces.
Yeah. I was scared for both of you.
It was a lot of fun.
The first 5 minutes, we legit laughed. Like the whole time, we just laughed. There was no information passed on for the first several minutes. There was no words coming out. Like I couldn't even breathe. Nobody even said anything. We just unmuted and started laughing. This is how our night's gonna go.
I was trying so hard to not laugh. Oh.
You guys were useless. I bring you up to help me co-host, and just the three of us are laughing the whole time, and people are in the room listening, and I'm like, dear God.
But they stayed. Sorry. The most amazing thing is they stayed. They didn't leave.
Yeah. Of course they're gonna stay. They're realizing these people are trashed and they can't even get words out. But I think we started in the Discord though, didn't we? We were in Discord. I mean, we were jamming to like Eminem and DMX while we were taking shots before opening a space. So that's probably was my first red flag that I should have realized. No, don't go open a space now.
It was beautiful. I think people loved it. I think that was probably one of the best spaces I've been in. I mean, outside of the one you held for DeFi Elitism, which was great for its own reason. That was so fun. I think Dragon was the one
that was really fun.
I think Dragon probably had the least amount.
Left. He was rude.
I know.
Oh, I had work.
Whatever.
I was getting ready for work.
Who booted Bearded down several times? Like he didn't even get to talk, and somebody booted him.
Dragon.
Okay. He comes
I was
up to
drunk.
like talk to us and on chocolate milk. I mean, like what?
And then he blamed me for it, so the Dragon Bearded would give me shit.
I have to say that it is so annoying when other people, not naming names, but Neil start shit, and then I have to go and clean it up. He's been doing this. Oh my God, he's been doing this for like weeks now. Where I'll see something, and I'll be like, "Why did they say that, or why did they do that?" And he'll go and address it, and then he'll be like, "I thought you were gonna say something." I'm like, "Dude, just let it go." Like you're messing stuff up, and then I have to go and clean up your messes. Like, I don't have enough shit that people throw at me. Let's add to it. And you laugh about it. You're such an ass.
I do it on purpose a little bit.
I know. It's almost as bad as we would play Among Us, And Alex would accuse me every
Yeah.
damn time that I'm the one that killed somebody. And I'm
Yeah.
dead half the time. Like, how can I have killed someone if I'm dead? Which means I'm
She figured it
obviously
out.
not the imposter. And I still get accused. It's like
Yeah.
there's like these triggers that you guys know trigger me, and you use them, and it's so fresh.
I don't
You
like that
realize,
you
though-
went. No, she said you guys. I don't like that. I don't
I
do
like it.
anything.
I was
It's
no, I was
appropriate.
meaning Alex and Neil. They're the ones that
Oh,
trigger.
okay.
Alex knows how to trigger me in spaces too, and that little shit uses it all the time. And then he laughs at my reaction, and I still haven't been able to control my reaction because I get so fired up about it.
Whoa.
Oh,
Calm down.
hold on.
Hold on. Man, I'm really. Oh my gosh, she turned. Oh man, I'm really excited about this week. We have a really cool guest that kind of ghosted us for like a good, I don't know, 3 months. But it's cool that we finally got him on to here in a bit here.
Oh yeah, I can't wait. I'm
Are
gonna
we
show
sure
him my
talking Alex
nipples.
now? Whew. Okay, I'm sorry. It got a little hot with the fireball. Oh, I have a question. Stop it. It's really random, but I thought about this
Stop
the
it.
other day. What's a job that you would be terrible at?
Doing a podcast.
I think
Rude.
third time we've been flipped off today. Yeah. Well, like I said, nobody listens to us anyway, so it's okay. I pass out with blood and needles, so I'd be terrible in any healthcare, which is ironic because I like tattoos now, and that's my I get excited about going to get needles, so it really doesn't sense. But I would be terrible if I worked at a funeral home. And here's why.
I would
It's
laugh.
not what you think. Yes, okay. So I am super awkward. I'm super awkward with people when they express their emotions like face to face. Like if you start crying, I panic. I don't know what the hell to do. I'm not one that consoles and wants to hug you and stuff. You know that gif of like Alec Baldwin with the broom where he's like there and the girl's like on the floor by the toilet and that's his like comfort with the broom? That's me in real life. Like I just don't know how to handle the emotion part. So if people cry, I laugh from being so uncomfortable. Like, do you know how awful I would get fired the first day? Like in a funeral home where everyone's crying and you're trying to like run a business, I would be laughing the whole time because I'm so uncomfortable.
That's a better reason to cry than to laugh than why I would laugh. I don't know if you've seen. I don't know if you've ever seen a body in an open casket situation, but they're funny.
Oh my god, we
That's
can't put
messed
this
up.
out. You are twisted. Yes, I have seen body in an open casket. Oh my god.
They don't look normal.
Well, no. I'm Jesus.
Well, I'm completely different because I would be like terrified for ghosts working there. And then like any like little noise or sound, like I'm gonna be like freaked out.
Oh yeah.
You guys watch that HBO show about the funeral home?
Do you have to ask that though? Like you automatically know that we don't watch the shows that you watch, but you set us up for it every time.
But you watch Justified.
Before I knew you. That was not a you thing that you taught me. So sit down.
but you I don't know what every show you haven't seen. So how am I supposed to know if I don't ask?
I wish you guys could see Neil's face because he looks like that little kid that just got yelled at and he like lowers his head a little bit as he's talking.
6 Feet Under. That's what it's called.
No, I haven't seen that.
It's good. What job would I be bad at?
I've seen
I'd
it.
be bad at. Yeah. See. So.
I fell asleep, so I don't know what happened.
There it is.
Dick.
Smile. I was waiting for it.
What have I seen? What would I be bad at?
Maybe that's the better question. What do we think bad at? Not
Yeah, what do you think I'd be bad at? I have some ideas about what I'd be bad at, but what do you think I'd be bad at? I don't do well by myself. I need a team. Like any job that requires me to be isolated. It's you know, I've asked Whiskey to kind of come in and consult with me a bit with some of the things I'm doing for Chris because I don't do well on my own. I need a sounding board. I need to verbally process. I'm not even a very good like leader per se. I'm more of like, I'm a good includer. Like I like bringing people to the table and collaborating with them. That's where I thrive. And so any job that would require me to be alone or to like be on top or whatever, I'm be bad at that.
Wait, never mind.
I'm more of a bottom.
Okay.
That's what she said.
Because there it is.
I didn't say anything. Did you see the post in our Discord about whiskey on bottom or whatever that was? Like, I didn't understand what happened there, but sometimes I come into Discord and I read messages and I immediately turn around and leave because I don't even want to engage in the conversation.
Are you talking about the one that I posted in our podcast studio?
Yes.
Yeah.
I sometimes I read stuff.
Comment.
It's so random. Like, where did it even come from? Like, where
I
did
don't
your
know.
mind go to where that's immediately what comes out of your mouth? And I'm like, I should probably need Discord now.
I read that and I was like, what is going on? Like,
What is? It's like the gym gif. What is happening? I just don't understand.
What is going on?
Oh my god.
I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you put up with us. I don't know how you put up with Alex and Tom. But then you have just all the other stuff.
Yeah, we don't have to go
Yeah.
there. But alcohol does help. I think I started drinking Fireball when I said yes to being a it was like, oh, this is what I'm gonna need to help me through. No, it's a lot. And I actually put out a tweet today. I've been doing this like community engagement thing, like trying to get everybody to engage with like little prompts that just are misfit related. Yesterday was name something that you'll hear Alex say in a space, which put Borat stuff, which like made my day. But then today I was like, you know what? I give Tom a lot of shit, and it's fair. He deserves it because we don't have to go there. So there's times where he deserves it. But today I was like, you know what? I've been like a little bit too much. So let's turn it and let's make today's like, what's something you want to tell Tom? You know, he's busy, he's working and stuff. So some people come in with like the random stuff. Neil comes in with who's Tim? I'm like, what the fuck? Not even. So then King comes in with this suit, which I love King. He's one that just like, oh my gosh, he supports from behind the scenes, but has been like #1 fan for several of us.
Yep. He's number one fan of Bassatress.
Yeah, he is. He actually told me that in a DM. He said that he was so thrilled about the Bass prison that he just couldn't even handle it.
Mm-hmm.
I think he said something different in the space last week, but I could have heard wrong.
He was lying.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are you saying?
So I made this tweet. King comes in and he starts talking about the early days and like how much Tom had to do, and he was like doing all these things. And like if you go back and listen to Tom's episode, he'll tell you everything that he does and what he had to do before I started doing stuff. I mean, he gets shit from me, but like mad respect, I will say, because this is like when I said yes to help. More him because I knew what he was.
Yeah.
And then they up and dip and start traveling, and I'm like, what the hell? I don't know what I'm doing. And then Neil steps in and was just like awesome. There was like so much shit going on. There was like the energy drinks and like let's FUD whiskey because we don't like what she says and does. And it just the amount of like holding things down was it's exhausting. I mean, I literally thought about quitting several times. I'm like, I just can't do it. And so
I'm gonna be honest to you. Like there were days in that period of time where I got into bed and I was half expecting you to no longer the community manager the next day, just because I knew how hard it was on you. Not because you couldn't handle it, not because you weren't awesome. In fact, on the flip side of the coin, you were such an inspiration walking through all of that. Like I was like, man, if I'm ever like you wrote the playbook on how to navigate shithole of the world that we live in, and that I choose to be in and love. But like I just knew how hard it was on you. Like I was like, she's just gonna be done. Like she's just gonna say no more. And I would go to bed like, all right, I have to be ready to figure out how to respond because if you're like me, you and Dragon in my opinion, are people only because we work together all the time. And like the Misfits wouldn't be the same without either of you in it. And so if you walked away from being the community manager, like how do I handle that? You know, like I would ask myself this question before I'd go to sleep at night, like because I knew how awful the day was and how busy the guys were and how kind of alone you were in all of it. And I was definitely inspired, but just like wow, like how is tomorrow gonna go when she steps down? Because I would probably step down, you know, and somehow, well, and this was the most inspirational thing throughout that season, is you would go inside of you and pull it out, like just like a lot of like rappers talk about, like you would literally just say, "Here's how," and get it done and address the shit and
Like
keep moving.
ghetto voice. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you just
Those days
kind of
happen.
body fools, and it was awesome to see. Like I was like watching you go through it all as a friend and as a community member, and I think community members noticed, by the way, because anytime something popped off, because sometimes we Misfits had a couple things pop off in their last 3 to 4 months. We saw what would happen
Yeah.
because people understood what you were doing, and no one had to say a thing. It was obvious.
Yeah. That's
and so,
something that
anyways.
like that was really cool for me to see cuz full exposure. I thrive when I know I have people around me that support the idea of being on a team with Alex and Tom and having them, in my corner. I have to have that. I have to. It's not a like a dramatic, emotional girl that needs men taking care of her. I can take care of myself. I don't need them, but it makes things easier. It definitely helps alleviate the weight of feeling like you're on this island by yourself taking care of a community. But when things would happen, and then you have certain ones that would DM me separately and give that, like, holy shit, how are you still doing this? Because they can see it.
Yeah.
Those are the times where I'm like, okay, I'm not alone in this feeling. Like, other people are noticing that this is just exhausting and, kind of unfair at certain angles when you would get stuff thrown at you. But there were times, yeah. I mean, not to go into that more, but there were times where it was exhausting. There were times where I did kind of write out what I would say if I was going to have to back away, just because it was just, you feel like you're trying to run everything on your own. But when you're talking about people noticing and stuff, like, I think it was in the same week I took one day off from Discord, didn't even come and show up. I didn't address any messages. I wasn't on Twitter. I was just exhausted from it all. And I think like 2 days before that, there was a space that we did and I didn't speak in it. And there was actually a holder that I brought into the community. And he goes into Discord and he's like, "Why isn't Whiskey speaking? I'm rugging. I'm leaving." Like, panicked. And I know he was joking, but I'm like, oh my gosh, like, just because you don't speak in a space. And then 2 days later, I take the day and just leave. And the people coming in that were like, "Where's Whiskey? Where, like, has anyone heard from her?" And Dragon's like, "I will burn this mother down." Like, he was ready to just destroy things. And there's like that weight of feeling like you're trying to do everything for everyone. And it's exhausting if you feel like on your own. I mean, luckily, I was not doing it on my own. It's just the feeling of it. But anyways,
It was
so
cool.
going back
Like
to,
I said, man, it was so cool. Walk through some of the harder times that I think you hopefully will ever have in your role, because it was a tough time. Like that was so much work the guys were doing. I mean, this isn't a knock on them, but they were not there in the community at the time because they were doing so much other things, and that's awesome. Like, how incredible is it that you were there making this community into something new, even,
yeah, well, that's why I'm there. I mean, I'm there so that they
Yeah.
don't have to be. And it,
Yeah, totally.
there's a
But it was just so
balance,
cool.
I think, just getting your bearings on things, because I look at it too and I'm like, it's just been the two of them for this whole time. And I don't know on their end, like, what the dynamic is to include a third person. And, there's that gaining trust and gaining that, there's just all these different levels that, I didn't trust and have confidence in them right away for a while, but you start to develop that, and I think that's important for a team to have that. But
Yeah, I agree. It was just inspiring though. Like that's what I'm trying to get to. It's just like as a community manager now, um, like I take from your experience and try to think, okay, like when I'm thinking about how to move forward, I'm like, okay, well, what did Whiskey do? She was just starting. Like, what was
don't
important to
follow
her,
me. Choose your
and
words
how does
wisely.
that relate to? Well, how does this relate to this project, and what worked well for her, and how did she manage her own feelings? Because like it's been inspiring to me, like to be in a role like we are in. It is a little scary. I mean, there's days where I'm just like, I'm over my head. Like, what am I doing? Why am I here? I had a big meeting today. I'm like, why am I in this meeting? Like, I'm nothing. Like,
Those are scary too, because you're kind of like you wanna be involved with it, but you also are like, I don't want to talk in this meeting either. I just want to kind
yeah,
of sideline and listen.
yeah. I
But
mean, imposter syndrome to the max, right? And
right.
anyway, so I'm just saying, like, you just definitely inspired me, and we get to get your founder on now, and that's gonna be so fun to talk to Alex finally. Even though, like I said, he's been going a long time.
At least he's
Um,
showing like Morgan. I mean, not to name drop, but Morgan kind of like screwed the pooch.
Yep. But it's gonna be good. I'm excited to talk to him and kind of get his perspective on a few things.
Yep.
Talk about the project.
Dragon's excited to show off. I think he wants to show Alex's nipple.
Oh yeah, that's my main goal.
That's his goal. Is to show him his nipples.
Yeah, Daddy.
Dragon, we kind of like.
No,
Oh, can
I'm
we talk
pretty
about the
boring.
merch that you're? No. Can we talk about the merch that you're doing, because that has been amazing.
Yeah. Well, I've been trying to start a designing some stuff with my NFTs, so I can because we get 100% IP, right? So I've been trying to make like a cool backpack with like Izzy and my Moto decks and Moto trip, and so it's been super fun trying to get that together. And Whiskey has been helping. It's been fun.
Yeah, we've had fun doing that. It's been like we spent hours, like after our meetings yesterday. I spent hours, and when I say hours,
Yeah.
I mean like I was up till I think 1 a.m. last
Oh
night
my gosh.
on stuff.
Out of
to the point
control.
to where, yeah, I was like, and I was designing some random ass shit. Like, I made a shower curtain as a joke for Alex, like a shower curtain. Who the hell needs a shower curtain? And I have to share it because I'm actually like, I kind of want it with different wording on it. But yeah, we went with like the most random stuff. But this site you can do so much stuff with. Like, you can do clothing and
Mm-hmm.
Apple Watches and AirPod case. Like, why are you
Yeah.
raising your hand? Like,
I was letting you know to finish what you were saying because I want to say what wasn't a joke.
you're hella rude today, sir. Do you know that
Oh.
he told me today also that you can get off this call with me and Chris, that I don't need you anymore?
I was trying to be nice to you. I felt like I was rude.
Ever.
I was
No,
being rude by like
No.
sideswiping you and saying, "Come on a call really quick," and I was just keeping you there for no reason. I was
You
feeling
could have
bad.
said, "Oh, thank you for coming. You can leave if you would like."
You can
Like
leave
something
anytime,
nice.
Whiskey.
Yeah.
Can I compliment you now, Whiskey? For frick's sakes. Whiskey runs our Twitter, and what's not a joke are those hoodies you shared.
Right?
Oh my
Yes.
gosh. I
I
need
love
it.
them. Yeah,
I need it.
I like them. We actually
The
got some
Chaos
comments on those.
hoodies.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're amazing.
Yeah,
With our
buddy.
names on it. Yeah.
And then the
I pictured
beanies.
us
I
at-
want beanies so bad.
I pictured us like just thugged out at an NFT conference in all of our gear.
In all black.
Yeah. Just like when Step Brothers show up, like we're here to mess stuff up. Like that's
Yeah.
all decked out in chaotic exposure gear,
Yes.
just like ready for violence.
And
I
fire
was-
shooting out in the behind us. Yep.
Do you
Yeah,
really
for our
think
butts?
people would be able to handle the three of us together, though? Like,
No,
I
gonna-
worry.
change the world.
That's
I
the
worry because you guys want me to get drunk.
love to see because you never are. Like, Neil's.
Yeah, I
Oh my
don't trust
gosh.
Neil. I don't
I
know
don't trust Neil
if I'm gonna
either.
be a violent or like I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. Are you
I'm
a
prepared.
violent person if you drink?
Maybe he's a humpy person. Maybe that's what he's really saying.
Maybe
Yeah,
I'll keep
you
Neil
never
between
know.
you and I. My God.
It can go both ways.
Oh no. Just, you know
I'm
what?
scared.
Every conversation I have with any misfit, it just confirms that I don't need to be at any misfit meetup. Like Maori wants to eat my legs, and that stayed with
does.
me. That stayed with me for months. Like that goes back to like beginning of misfits. Him wanting my
Yeah.
legs. It's a little concerning when you think about a bunch of misfits in a house together, and you know.
Yeah.
Well, I like you guys. Thanks for doing a podcast with me. I'm really excited. By the way, I'm just gonna
What does
say
that even
this.
mean?
Well, this is what it means. I love what we're doing. I think there's a lot of people out there. Maybe not a lot. There's several people. There's a good number of people out there that have seemed to like what we're doing. That's so encouraging to me, and I'm really grateful for everyone out there that is. You know,
Mhm.
we want this thing to grow. So tell people about it. I mean, the space has the world has a lot of podcasts. I think ours is different. I think ours is growing, is improving, is worth listening to. Dragon puts in so much work taking all of my foot stomps out of the audio, and Whiskey does a ton of work putting it together and running the Twitter. And we're really excited about what it's becoming, and we think it has a lot of potential to be more. And if you love this podcast, I'm just gonna invite you shamelessly to share it with somebody, help us grow. To some extent, we do need our listeners to get there. And thank you guys for engaging in the giveaways and telling us
Yes,
your favorite
thank
parts and everything that you're doing. We wouldn't be where we are without you. And yeah, so just a shameless plug before we move into our guest.
Say that I think the asking people their favorite part, because we could do giveaways multiple ways. I mean, we could do the like and retweet. I think that's old and significant. You just get people that want something, but when you ask them to engage with like what was your favorite part, twofold. You want to know that they're listening, but also I'm interested every week to know what people's favorite parts are. And almost like 75% of the time they get excited for Dragon to ask for nudes. Like when he asks people for nudes at the end, it's just, and I said this in Discord this morning that I judge people on how they respond to that. Like if you're like, okay, or if you're concerned as to why he's asking, it's just it's one of my favorites to hear him kind of have his little things that he engages with the guests with. But I think that's it, right? Are we ready for Boss Man to come on and bring his debauchery?
Yeah.
Let's go.
I have him handcuffed to my bed right now.
Yeah,
Let me go
Daddy.
get him. So now we have Alex here from the Misfits. He's a founder. And first thing is, do you want to see my nipples?
Yes, yes, I do. I am
Okay, here you go.
100% on board
Right
with
here.
that.
Oh my god.
Did you lift him? He actually lifted him to show him.
Oh yeah.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
this video is not recorded, so I can't keep that.
Whoa.
You should have screenshot it.
I would have made a very good nipply meme with your nipples there, Dragon.
A nipply meme. That's gross.
I'll just give you a free subscription to my OF.
Only fans? Do we have to sign up to your OnlyFans?
All right. So our first question is
Well, before you go there, Dragon, if it's okay, I'll cut in. And, welcome, Alex. Glad to finally have you. I didn't tell Whiskey I was going to say this, but, I think out of everybody, when we first launched day one, there was one person that was the loudest in their excitement, and that was Alex. He was all on board with this podcast, so excited that we were going to have it. And we, people that listen know about the Misfits. They know, everything a lot about what's going on in terms of being in the community, right? They know about the story, they know about the characters, they know about the community. I just think I think the direction today would be really fun to just kind of, instead of maybe focusing on things we've talked about, and me and you have talked about, me and you and Whiskey have talked about, funny. It might be fun to just kind of look at retrospect a little bit and look at the last 8 months to a year, and yeah, just kind of hear what your take is on it. Maybe have a couple questions for you there, but I mean, yeah, looking back, what do you think, man? We're done with the main Misfit collection. I mean, it's been a wild 8 months.
That is a loaded question. I actually think like for the last 8 months, it has absolutely been one hell of a ride doing this project. Because look, ultimately, there's a lot of things that's going to run through your mind, right, when you're starting an NFT project, or you're even just starting any type of project. Is how long is this thing actually going to last? Will it last? And will the community be there to support? Like, that's 9 times out of 10 a project's going to fail because people move on from the project, the community doesn't stay, and then I mean there's no real reason, founders drop off, and all different types of reasons that might happen. And so that's something that we certainly toiled with at the beginning. Like, how long is this going to actually continue for? Like, is there going to be a market for it when we hit that bear market? So yeah, like I think the way that everything has turned out, and the way that the actual progress of the project's been progressing has just been absolutely phenomenal, and the support of this entire project has been our community. Like, and pennies drop for me every time I have conversations with different people, especially if I haven't spoken to them for a while. And it was actually in the space a few weeks ago when things just got really degenerate. It was the one where Goodfoot jumped into it, and we're doing it with Chris Vaughn, and it was that was just an awesome collaboration space, and it was really good to get the old momentum it's not really old momentum, it's like a few months ago when we were having like real degen spaces, and we would just talk a whole lot of crap, really. Like, we would hit the main topics of what we needed to talk about for the project, and then like the rest of it would just absolute random word salad. And I really love that vibe that we have in the Misfit community, because it's not just go go go, business business business. It's business. Here it is, what we're doing, this is what we're producing, and then we're all talking, like we're all sitting around a campfire drinking beers and just shooting the shit. And that to me, that is what really makes a stable community, and gets people engaged and gets people to come back, because it's not just a place for you to come and just talk about the project. It's a place for you to talk about everything, what's going on in your life, making friends. And yeah, we really hit the nail on the head, and that's why I think our community has done so well. And with the support of, like, Whiskey, you being our community manager, you really kept that in line, and kept everyone together, and had really fun activities for people to engage with. And that's just another thing that we couldn't have done without main support from you doing that. It's because ultimately that's freed up a lot of time for Tom and I to be able to work on external things, where like when we started the project, it was Tom and I juggling 24/7. Like, I was putting in like 16-hour days, and it would be like in spaces every single night. I'd be up late at night, and then I'd have to be writing, and then I'd have to be creating traits, and then doing all this. So yeah, it's been one hell of an 8 months, but where we are now is it's superseded my expectations times 10. So yeah, I'm really happy with our progression and what we've done, and this community, of course.
Follow up question for me, if that's okay. Because there's a lot there, but if you were to have to pick one moment that was incredible, and then on the flip side, one moment that was just awful in this process, what would be those two moments over the last year, basically?
For the last year, so I would say right now is the most incredible moment, and purely because of the manga itself. Um, we've done so well, and with the help of whiskey, I know you've been really pushing it, but everyone has had a hand in it. But the amount of views that our manga has actually gotten on Medibang, like I think now we're over 12.3k, and that's really mind blowing because we haven't gone into like manga channels, communities, and things like that, and started pushing like, "Hey guys, have a read of this, have a look at this." We haven't really done any of that. We ideally like to get more chapters out and have more content for people to read. But just as the one shot, like, yeah, we're not even a few thousand views away from top 20 on Medibang, and that to me is one of the most incredible achievements that we've done with this project, because the whole project is centered around that story. And I think the proof of concept is there that what it is that we're creating um, is actually will be popular with the right tools, the right marketing, getting in front of audiences. Like we've always said, the actual product itself isn't tied any way, shape, or form to the actual NFT itself. Like, yeah, the NFTs are the representations of the people that have helped fund the project and create the story, but the product itself is a standalone thing, and that can generate its own income and then its own popularity. And once we start getting physical copies, and we can go to like actual anime expos and actually start really marketing this thing, we'll be able to pick up a whole new fan base just for the actual Misfit brand. So that is probably the biggest achievement for me, because it's like, yeah, we're doing something right, and we're doing it well. So the proof of concept is there. Now, to go back to the most awful, um, I'm gonna have to say the last reveal that we did was the most stressful that we've had, and that accumulates to a lot of things. Probably more so myself making as many trades as we did. But yeah, I don't give a shit. Like, I'm still going to generate a shitload of trades, even if it means that we're going to be super stressed. I don't care, because I'd rather have something of quality product out there. So that time, like, we had to push back that timeline like multiple times, and it just that really, was like, that was anxiety inducing. It was just like, oh my God, we're going to have to push it back again. And it's just like, we're not ready. And there was just so much work that we didn't anticipate. And it was more manual work. So, like, and I've said this in many spaces. Yeah, you can just run things through the randomizer, and you can do it once and just go, here, guys, go. Like, whatever it is, it is. But if I see something and it just looks shit, I'm not going to put it out there. I'm not. I just like, yeah, Tom. We need to change it. We need to manually regenerate another cycle, but then we need to pick certain ones that are going to fit within the collection, because we'd rather have it looking really good rather than just having lots of different random things. And every project, not every project, but I'd think a lot of high level projects would be doing this as well, because you're putting a product out there, and yeah, like the traits are awesome, but not every single trait is going to mesh together and it's going to look perfect. So yeah, that because we had so many bloody traits, it was just like a matter of doing a crap load of manual work. So yeah, that was my that was probably my most awful memory. But look, everything is stressful, especially when running any type of project, right? Because you're always going to have cast of doubt of certain, are we doing things right? Is this going to be successful? And anyone that's starting any type of business or anything like that is going to go through those same motions. So that's definitely up there for my most awful experience that I can think of. Nothing really stands out above that.
So I did not prepare questions for you. I think every guest I had questions ready, but I do have one really important question that I need.
Yep.
You do,
Lay it
you
on
do,
me.
you
Who
do
do
like we really this podcast we're like we pride ourselves on our integrity and truthfulness, and we really got to know. People want to know.
full transparency?
Yep.
Okay.
There's full transparency. Go for it.
Okay. Who do you like better, me or Tom?
Oh, shit. What sort of a loaded question is that?
I
Look,
just need to know.
it's not even about who I like better, but I can say that there are people that you can meet in life, and you will like people for different reasons, and they will offer you different, they'll play important parts in your life for different roles and different things. When I met Tom, it was a friendship that just blossomed, but it was like him and I hit it off the ground running. But I look at Tom now like he's more my brother. Like him and I are just. It is crazy. I haven't. I don't even speak to my closest friends as much as I talk to Tom. Like it is him and I on a routine. We're always having meetings. We're talking about the misfits. We're talking about the marketing and everything like that and strategies, but then also, we get along really well from a personal dynamic, and it's crazy because you don't think you'll find someone which is much like you. So yeah, Tom's my brother, and I love that guy to bits. But whiskey, there is no, I wouldn't even be able to put the comparison on who I'm gonna like, who I'm gonna like more because it's like chalk and cheese. You can't even compare it. So it's yeah.
Yeah, I
There's
think
no
you
one
answered
like
it though. I think you
yeah.
answered it though, because you had a lot to say about Tom. So I mean, I get it. It's noted.
Yeah, but Tom's.
No, we're good. We don't have to keep it going. It's okay.
Alex is never coming back.
And walked right into that one. Yeah,
No, yeah.
coming back.
Should we just close it right now?
Yeah, I think we're done. I think this was a good interview and a good place to stop.
Very nice. No.
There it is. That's what I was gonna actually ask for too. Was in spaces I always try to get you to do your Borat impression, and there's several that just never get to hear it. So you can slip that in anywhere you want.
I like comments. So I do like my Borat impersonations. I will. I'll slip it in different parts of this podcast for sure. That was like a euphemism for something dirty, wasn't it?
Yeah, you went there.
Slipping
We're
things.
usually
Yeah,
a PG. We're
I
we're a
definitely
PG
did go
podcast.
there. Is this a PG podcast? Are we allowed to swear on it?
Oh no, I was just being.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
you can say whatever you
Awesome.
want. Dragon, did you have questions? Because if you had some.
Yeah, I guess we can do a community question, and
Oh
one
yeah.
is When are you gonna rescue Bass from prison?
You know what? I fucking love it, Dragons. I absolutely love that you. I don't think I'm gonna ever want to rescue Baz from prison because the amount of effort that you had to go through to actually do that, I just don't think we could discredit that, and I don't think you're in a position to ever move those NFTs ever. Just,
No, they're
they're gonna
they're
be there.
staying there.
Oh, they're going to be there forever, and I absolutely loved, when I was looking at it the other week and going through and seeing all the bars that you put over them, like I was just like the amount of effort that you would have had to have gone through to do all that, like and transferring it, or like I know a lot about transferring NFTs, but like yeah, there is, yeah. I don't think I can rescue him. I think he needs to stay in
The
prison.
best part of that was me
I love it.
me and Whiskey helped colluding to make sure he surpassed Whiskey on the holder count. That was the most important.
Yeah. Yeah, look, I know King will probably hate me, but I'll duck my head and hide like Morgan.
Oh snap! Oh snap! That was amazing.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one, actually. I'll take that.
So we have a couple more from the community, but also like one that kind of came from the community, but also we were wanting to know about too is like just looking forward a little bit. What are you most excited for with the Misfits? Like where we're going. I mean, I know you talked about the story in the manga, and obviously that's a big part of it. But
Yeah.
even beyond that though. Like what? Like just looking forward, being futuristic. What are you most excited about?
So yeah, look, for me, I'm looking forward to finalizing the NFTs themselves and finalizing the villains. There is a lot of work that's got to go into that creative process, and that does consume definitely a lot of my time to what I do. But I look forward to finalizing that portion of the actual project, but mainly growing this community. Like if we're setting aside the story and the actual brand, growing the community, getting the Misfits out there, getting the name, getting more and more people involved with it, is probably one of something that I want to focus on a lot more. Getting out there, doing more regular spaces, talking about the project more, and when the bull market comes back, and just I mean, yeah, like outside the story, it's hard, like to sort of pick where I want to actually see this. Like, ideally, I really want to meet everyone from the community that like I've grown to have relationships with and to get to know over the last 12 months. Like, I can't wait for our first official meetup. Which will probably be stateside. When Tom and I get to the States, we'll be doing that. But yeah, I mean, really, where do I want to sort of see it? Like, I really just want to get the actual get the story really going. Getting that out on a monthly basis, really just ramping that up and pumping it out. So that is actually probably the most exciting thing to look forward to is the community actually generating and creating the story. So yeah, that'll be something really exciting. I look forward to seeing how the community actually interact in terms of creating and voting and directing the story in which way, shape, or form. But that really comes through after the first volume as well. So yeah, shaping and guiding the story is going to be a fun aspect of this project for sure.
So we did have community questions. One was, what's going to be the focus after the villains are minted out?
The focus. Focus is going to be on the actual the manga itself, merchandising, and we've got some things in place that we can't actually talk about at the moment. You know, under NDA with that, and so that's there are things that we've already started to lay in place that'll help expand the actual brand itself that that we're currently working with. So that's something exciting. Like we do look to the future of expanding this brand beyond like the misfits, and we can do that in so many different ways. Like, okay, yeah, we got the core story of the Misfits, but there's a lot of branches of the Misfits that there's a lot of sub stories that we can have. That's going to delve into the world of Arcadia that won't involve the Misfits, because the Misfits is only a collection of the 5 characters in Arcadia. So there's going to be different stories and avenues and tree branches that we can move the story and pivot over towards and create extra content. I don't think we'll ever create another collection, and I've always said that expanding beyond the 4,000 isn't an option for us. We don't want to go any less or any more than the 4,000, so we are just going to keep it at that. But we will look to expand the Misfit universe and the actual brand, creating new characters that come into light. Like, these characters will come into light within the actual manga and the story itself, and so we want to actually tell stories. So sort of like how you might have for the people that watch anime, like Naruto, but then there was like the Boruto, the series that continues on about his son. You've got this whole new cast of characters to explore. So for us, it'll be really focusing on the actual branding itself, really getting that story element out there, and keeping this community alive. More and more activities that we engage with the community. The NFTs don't make up everything about this community. Like, what makes up this everything about the community is the friendships and the people interacting with one another. Like, that is super important to keep that energy and that momentum going. And so yeah, we'll be focusing heavily on that, especially for new members that are coming in and discovering it, because yeah, we are an anime based project, and a storytelling project. So we really need to focus on that. And ideally, like, there's I could say so many different things as well. Like, I can go, hey, we want to make an anime, and that's going to be like massive for us. And then we want to make a movie that like goes off that, but we need to keep it in realistic realms of what's achievable in the now, rather than promising something that's going to be 10 years from now, because people are going to be like, oh, I know exactly. You remember when you said that there was going to be this, and you haven't delivered on it, and why haven't you done this? And that's something that we don't want to focus heavily on. Yeah, we will touch on those elements, but those elements I'd rather talk about when we're in a position to actually execute and achieve them. So one big thing that I have like thought a lot about is that card game. There is definitely something I want to do with that, because I think from an interactive point of view, that's something that is completely achievable. Making a card game, doing the artwork for that, and getting the community to be able to interact with that, you can create a whole new subculture of people that just want to play the card game if you make it fun and interactive enough. And some of those games, on the App Store, I don't know if anyone plays them, like Hearthstone and things like that. They're super addictive, but yet they're so simple. And they've just grown such a fan base. And I think the Misfits would be an absolutely, it would just be such a cool genre to have in the card game. So yeah, look, these are things that we want to focus on. But for me, my main goal is to get the story really, really, evolved and out there and just growing.
What I loved about what you said a lot is something that I think is kind of a pitfall in the last cycle that we went through, and that's projects like putting together a quote unquote roadmap for their project. And they spent way less time talking about just what they hoped and dreamed, and far more time promising things that were just unachievable. And like, you could talk about your hopes and desires. You can talk about what you want to see the franchise become. There's so much to talk about and say that our intention is to take this as far as it can. And I loved how you put that. I thought that was really well said. And on the character side of things, Alex, man, what you did with Whiskey's idea for Raven, whew, whew. I don't know if I'm gonna need a minute.
Yeah. You know what? That was a lot of fun to create. And Whiskey, like, massive props. I hope we did it justice. But yeah, Whiskey sent through her ideas, and I had a pretty good idea of what she was wanting. And I hope, yeah, I think, like, for me, that I love that character already, because I actually know how I can actually work that character in to the story, and it's just hit the nail on the head, because yeah, she's going to be the perfect antagonist for one of the Misfits, and she's going to play an awesome role.
So excited, though.
Yeah, well done, Whiskey, on that, because fuck, that was an awesome idea. And you know what, Whiskey was. You weren't even going to submit at one point, if I recall. You were, and I said, like, just submit if you've got an idea. And I said this to anyone in the community, any one of our holders. If you have an idea, just submit it. Put a backstory, because the story is going to help you win those votes. And if you get a good enough story, and the best part of that competition was that it was anonymous. No one knew, unless people were telling one another, but no one knew which character that they were voting on. But I think most people that submitted in that, were keeping it pretty close to their chest on who designed those characters. So you don't want your lightness to interfere with the people in the voting. So and we're a really good community anyway. So everyone's pretty honest.
It gets me excited when you say that you know exactly how Raven's going to fit in the story, like who her antagonist is going to be, or who she's going to antagonize. Probably better said. I love that, because that's what we all hope for. At least that's what I hope for. And I liked Raven from the jump. I'm not creative. I didn't submit. I was completely neutral. And when I looked through, me and Dragon both got a sneak peek of Whiskey's because of the podcast. We hang out all the time. We're friends, right? And we were like, you have to submit. And like, I just got excited about all the different ways it could go. So for Alex to say, I'm excited about how she's going to fit in the story, that's exciting to me.
Yeah, I got goosebumps when she first told me. I was like, oh, this one's it.
Yeah. For the record, it was not anonymous voting at the time that I talked to the three of you about this, so I did not ruin anything.
Well,
I mean, I kind of did, but
Tom and I weren't even voted in the competition. So I mean, I loved all the ideas, and yeah, there was we were able to. we would make it work. It didn't matter which villain won that competition. I would have made it work either way. But yeah, with Raven, she will play a really good role and an antagonist for one of the Misfits, because all the villains are going to play certain antagonists to certain villains. Like there are opposites to each one of the villains as Misfits. We'll sort of battle them, head on, like one on one. So it's going to be really interesting to see that sort of unfold, because much like any anime, it's not like the Misfits aren't going to be together 24/7, 5-on-5 battling. Like you're going to have different arcs and different, side stories and subplots that are going to be going on and interweaving within the story. So, we might have like a whole volume dedicated to where you might not like you might see Trixie and Izzy for five pages of that whole entire volume, because the whole entire volume might be about Dex and Baz going off, and they're trying to they're not doing missions, or so to speak, but they're going off on their own little arc, and we're telling that story, and we're engaging that, and they're going to be interacting with villains, and then other Misfit characters might interject in certain parts of the story. And Naruto does that really well. Bleach does that really well, and a lot of those shonen style animes and mangas really pull that off. So it's
A few of us started watching Bleach. Shout out to Vinny and Alyssa, a couple other people too. Yeah. So that's been really fun. Going back to the collection a little bit, this last reveal was so good. It was so good, and there might have been a little bit of frustration. You talked about how like there had to be delays and delays, but when it revealed, man, it was well worth the wait. Baz got an incredible upgrade just as a character, but I gotta ask, where did some of those mouth traits come from, Dex? Like
Do you know what we had some mouth traits, and there was actually one of them was going to get discarded, but we were like, you know what, fuck that, we're going to be putting those.
Oh my gosh!
Because I thought when I kept looking at it, I just thought, this is hilarious. Like, this is actually really funny. And a lot of the things, yeah, a lot of the things that I do create and put in there is for my own self amusement as well. So I've got to entertain myself, but yeah, I think that just adds to the whole charm and character of this collection. Like, there's so much variety to go around. So just to really put that in there is fun, and it makes me laugh.
And you don't have to say anything about this at all. Like, and if you want, you can just say next question or no comment. But like another thing, just on Whiskey and her winning the competition. I like this community does legendary stuff like Basketraz, like a whole list of things. But what does Whiskey do? She single-handedly gets us trending on Icy Tools. Like, just incredible. Because there was some money prizes, and it's like she just said, you know what, hold my beer, and she took all the Bazes off the floor, and she said someone told her it started to look like a Dex derivative or a Bored Ape derivative project on the floor because there was just Dexes everywhere. But I mean, just like what I love about this community, Alex, that you have, the team you have, is it's just legendary shit. Like, it really is just some of the craziest, coolest things that go down. And I thought that was a really cool element because that's not something you or Tom controlled at all. It was just something that a community member who is a community manager, she said, you know what, like I don't care about the money, but I'm gonna sweep the floor, and did a lot of good exposure for the project just in terms of like tools, and then the reveal was incredible. The villain competition was so fun. I do like that you guys, because like Trip also got a big improvement in the reveal. I got some really dope trips in this last phase, and I'm thrilled about it. Man alive, do I have some cool trips. But like, it's this bigger picture. It's not, you guys have put in hard work. That's obvious. Like this reveal proved it. Like, and I know there's a lot of work. And you guys talked about how you're going to do back reveals too. And I'm like, I told Whiskey this. I was like, Whiskey, are they nuts? Did they not just do this much work trying to get these guys to reveal, and now they're going to do a duplicate number of generations? But you said it, like I am. You are, and I love that. You guys work hard, but the project itself is just full of legendary type level shit, and that's what I love about it.
Yeah. That's like what are the most important things that I think when you're collecting any NFT is like at the end of the day people are like, oh, it's just the image, but like the image matters. It's a huge impact on the actual on the project, because like if it's like walking into a store and you're going to go buy branded lollies, right? You're going to be looking at the brand, you're going to be looking at the packet, and like if you have something that is just in a plain packet versus something that is bright, colorful, and catches your eye, you're going to go the colorful one, even though that product might be less than the one that's just in standard average packaging, because marketing does work. And like when you're looking at when you're buying something, you want to have something that you actually look at and go, I love this. This is awesome. This is mine. This image is mine. I actually own this image, and no one else actually has it. So, like when creating the traits and doing things like that, I want people to be satisfied and happy with the quality and what it is that they're getting. Like we scrap so like there's so many in the bin traits that have gone in, like that I've sort of played around with and just gone nah, like, and we've spent money on creating those traits, and it's just like, look, it's not just to get content out there. It's not meeting my expectation and my satisfaction level. So yeah, and again, like I love that the community will go off and do something that hasn't been enabled by us, or we haven't asked anyone to do it, but they just do it on their own, like autonomously on their own. So yeah, massive shout out and thanks to Whiskey for doing that, because that just puts an absolute smile on my face that we can have people like creating their own little communities and their own little projects within our project, and find ways to help make it better and help marketing it better as well. Like that's incredible. That's when you have a really solid community. Like going into the Discord is absolutely nuts for us. Like our Discord doesn't like exceed 14,000 members, 15,000 members. But what I've come to realize is in Discord, it's just really a number, because I'm still a part of channels and old NFT projects that I used to be a part of. And I'll jump into a 14,000 people Discord. No, like I do it to evaluate and see, what their Discords are like. And they're dead. They're graveyards. They're just, yeah, sure. There's just 15,000 people in there, but it's because 15,000 people haven't, exited the channel. Like it's like there's nothing happening in there. And then I go into the Misfit Discord. There's always something happening. Like there is
Oh
always
yeah.
conversation. There is always talk. It is so active. It's beyond belief, and that to me is way more successful, because at the end of the day, let's just say 100 active supportive members is a lot more valuable than 14,000 people that don't talk to one another. Like it's that's that is that's the way that I view it, and that's like for us, for me, that's super successful. And again, whiskey, that's something that we couldn't have done without your support or doing and being our community manager. Like you've been, like I've said it, you've been the glue that holds it together because it really has like relieved a lot of time that Tom and I would have had to have spent in that to do that, to actually focus on actually working on the project. And we've always kept our projects team quite minimal and small, and the way that and I think that's also contributed a lot to our success because one thing that I did learn is a lot of founders and project members, when they go, oh, we started this, and there's been 8-10 people that started a project, but then there's always like squabbles and stuff that goes on within the team dynamics, and it really just crushes a project. So that's one thing Tom and I never really wanted to do, was like expand beyond our means. Like we would expand our team when we're at a point to say, hey, we need the expansion, but right now it's not a necessity, it's not a need. So we rather work more agile and deliver on like the quality artwork and the product of what we're delivering. Like when we go back and look at all the different things that we've done, like in content generation, in terms of like the 3D rendering, the Unreal images that we helped that we created, the actual manga itself, the actual traits, the one-offs, the musics, the animations, like all these different things that we've incorporated into our project. I mean, it's like there's a lot that we've been able to focus on, and we couldn't have done that without someone like Whiskey running our community, but also taking the time to actually sit down and say how can we deliver something, a better product, so to speak.
My thing, my best memory with you and interaction was playing Among Us, and you chasing me with your horn.
Oh yeah, my horn
So,
of devastation.
so I have a question because
Yep,
I'm pretty sure you and Chris Vaughn were in the shower on Among Us,
we
and
did.
and I have this Barbie, and I want you to point where Chris touched you.
Yeah, he
No.
touched me here, here, and here in the bum hole. If anyone actually gets that reference, yeah, that'll be funny. But if has anyone ever seen In Betweeners, the
No.
TV show? It's a British
Maybe
TV show.
Neil.
Okay,
Neil
if you have not watched the In Betweeners, you must
They will
must
believe me.
watch it.
Like
Because-
Alex, it's a fantastic show. Like fantastic, love it.
Oh, it's fucking.
It's so great,
hilarious.
and but they'll never care. They won't even watch Ted Lasso. Breaks my heart. It's,
You know what Ted Lasso?
it's so good.
God.
So good.
So good.
It releases it, and I feel like I'm on drugs when I watch it. It makes me feel so happy.
Oh fuck it. Yeah.
I had a question. Shoot, and I'm gonna just ask a different one because I got so excited about the In-Betweeners that I'm distracted now. So I finally had Jammy Dodgers, which you still never really acknowledged, and I was like all proud of it because I've had the off-brand. But it's fine. It's fine. You don't care. What's your favorite biscuit?
Who can now? Huh?
What's your favorite?
What's
Yeah,
my favorite biscuit? Ooh, favorite biscuit. There's so many different biscuits, and I'd hate to go like plain Jane.
But if that's your
but
favorite,
I
go for it.
Or like I'm going to say the Oreo.
No.
Yeah.
No, it's not a
I know.
biscuit. An Oreo is not a biscuit. It's a cookie.
Okay. We're going on biscuits. Yeah, actually, I'm gonna have to say the chocolate coated, and I don't even know if you get them, but it's a chocolate coated Scotch finger.
Oh,
So
I mean, I love a hobnob. I love a digestive.
yeah,
But
I
Scottish
love. So
finger.
think of it as a digestive, but 1,000 times better. Actually, that is definitely my favorite biscuit. Now that I'm thinking about it, so yeah,
A Scottish finger.
definitely
What's it
Scotch
called?
finger,
Yeah.
chocolate coated Scotch finger. I'm gonna,
All right.
I'll get a picture for you and I'll send it. But if you ever find these, you'll understand. And you've got to dunk it in milk, like cold milk. Yeah, I'm one of those freaks that can just drink cold milk. But yeah, just dunk it in milk and then it gets soggy. But then the chocolate keeps it all together, and then it's just yeah, away you go. People would have expected to probably because I'm Australian, they would have expected to say the Tim Tam, but I've eaten a lot of Tim Tams in my life to the point where I'm like, yeah, I've gotten sick on Tim Tams.
I'll see
Um,
what's up at Tim Tam Slam any day, though.
oh yeah, like, but the thing is like they're so Moorish, and with the Tim Tam, I'd like as a kid growing up, like there'd be a packet of Tim Tams in the pantry, and it's you don't just eat one and then you're like, yeah, I'm satisfied. Like you start with one and then you demolish the whole packet. Like it was just yeah, I did love Tim Tams, but I've eaten so many in my lifetime to say, yeah, the Scotch finger is definitely 100% my favorite.
So I need
I'll
to
have to
know. Go ahead.
go for it. No, I was just going to say
How many
I have to send you some.
vans have you tried to create this week?
You know what? I was playing around like a shitload with it afterwards, and yeah, so I haven't gone back to it, but yeah, I definitely did create after that space. Um, I was creating, then I had my meeting, and then I was back at it. Like I was just I just kept putting all the different misfit traits that I'd created and compiled and just gone, oh my god, these look amazing. They're so cool. Whiskey, I actually can't wait to see how they turn out when you get them. How
Yeah,
long do they take to make?
I think that next week
Oh,
they're supposed to get shipped.
shut the gates. It's gonna
How do
look
you?
so good.
Did you ever watch Cuckoo?
No. What's that?
Okay. It's a Davies. What's his last name? Jeff Davies. Is that right?
Yeah, I do know, and his family. Yes.
Yeah. I love him
Yeah,
as an actor. Isn't he on Inbetweeners, or is that
he
a
is.
different
He
one?
plays the principal. He plays the principal
Yeah.
in
Oh,
Sliders. He's fucking
how do you get these
hilarious.
guys to do what you want to do? Like how? Like they need to understand the greatness of Jeff Davies, but also they need to understand the greatness of Ted Lasso. And they won't believe me. They won't do it. It's so dumb. And I just want to share good things.
Yeah, it's hard when you find something that you are passionate and love and you want other people to experience that excitement, and people are just like, yeah, get around to it, and you're like, no, you must get around to it now. Fucking watch it, god damn it. It's like yeah, whenever I discover a new show of sorts, I'm like, people must get onto it. And one of those shows that I've recently picked up because for me, a lot of creative process is watching other shows. Like you know, you get a lot of ideas. You see how people implement them, and story creators and writers implement them in shows that we're watching today. And it helps, you know, with that creative process on in terms of what you want to do for your you know, for your own story and your own project. And one of those shows that I'm watching right now, if you haven't seen Cyberpunk uh, on Netflix, it's fucking brilliant. I just have to put it out there. It's so fucking good. And it's already given me inspiration of something that I want to create for the Misfits. So yeah, it's yeah, get prepared to see some really cool, awesome shit coming through for that because I've got some really, really good ideas.
So while Neil's bringing up shows and stuff, which by the way, he asks us if we've watched Ted Lasso probably every day. So it's beyond the point of like normal asking people if they've watched shows. We're not complete assholes. We really
So,
do try to watch stuff.
so
But
did you? But have you taken like the principal stance now, Whiskey, where you're like, he's asked me that many times, I fucking refuse to watch it.
Alex, if you knew everything that I've been through with this community, specifically Neil, you don't deserve me. You just don't.
Bro, I will probably, I'll give you that. Yeah, I'll probably, I'll agree with you there, even though I don't know what I'm agreeing to.
So have you seen Wednesday on Netflix?
Oh yeah, love it. Fucking absolutely loved it. Absolutely
Okay.
brilliant. Yeah, I can't wait for season 2, which actually got officially renewed, by the way. So that's gonna be awesome. Wednesday's good. Whiskey, you would probably, I don't know why, but you could probably resemble Wednesday in a lot of aspects. Like, I think you would be happy to like, drop an anvil or torture someone.
You have no idea.
Yeah,
I could
I can
absolutely.
imagine. No, I can imagine those thoughts have definitely crossed your mind.
Yeah, they have. We don't have to go into that though. Um,
So tell me
um,
about your thoughts.
huh?
Tell me about your thoughts.
Oh no, you don't want to hear that. That can't be recorded. I actually don't need that recorded because that would get me probably fired and thrown out of all of Web3. So it's best that those stay put. I think that other than that, there was one more question real quick. Bearded wanted to know if you have your business socks.
Oh, I don't have my business socks on. I got my regular feet. Unfortunately,
Your regular
Bearded.
feet?
Yeah, just my regular feet are on now. Look.
Well, we don't need to see. That's great. King would love that.
Yeah.
I wish King was able to see this.
King. Okay, look, I didn't start the foot fetish in this community, but I will go along with it. Like, there has been multiple. Actually, this community is full of fetishes. If I had to explain it in some way, shape, or form, like one moment we're on the feet, and then we go on the leg fetish, and then there's nipples now, like dragons starting a trend. Like, yeah,
You know what?
we're
No,
getting all-
that's what I was going to ask earlier. If there's not a BBR, then I quit. I'm done. Do you
He wants
listen to
Big
me,
Booty
sir?
Raven. Big Booty Raven. That was his one demand when I said, these are the things I'm looking for Raven. And they immediately were like, we need a booty.
You're doing
Izzy
anyway.
has a booty. I
I want to
am
see
a
it.
giver of booty. There's the image of Izzy in our roadmap, the comic roadmap, where she's sitting at the bar. She had a bit of booty going on.
You
Definitely.
going to your community having like fetishes and stuff. We have completely embraced that, and we actually had ZZ with Shonen come in to our Discord one day, and he said that this is the most perverted Discord he's been in. And I told him that I was so proud of it that people come here for the art, but they stay for the foreplay.
Oh, what?
We
That's a good line.
we own it. We're freaks, and there are some kinky ones here, and we just kind of own it.
I feel
We're
like
misfits.
that needs to be like like a slogan for the misfits. Like that should be in our Discord as a slogan.
I think it would be a good welcome thing. Like when people come to our Discord to like get verified, the opening banner just says that you'll come for the art but stay for the foreplay. I feel like it's fitting, actually.
Absolutely, and this is why people stay, and this is why people come to the community, because we are
He
just
said
like
this is why people come. Did you catch that? You caught that,
exactly.
right?
Yeah, exactly. That's right. Another euphemism bomb, but but like this is really and you learn a lot of things, especially when you're creating projects and going like you make a ton of fuck ups along the way, and you're meant to make big mistakes and wrongs, but then you're meant to learn from those wrongs, which is one thing that I love about our community, because I think that transparency that we've had and that we've always had as founders has given people that join our community to see us in a different light. Like whereas for us, we can be open and honest. Hey, we've tried this, it doesn't work, or we're having a delay reveal or anything like that. But the one thing that is that I love about this community is that everyone is so accommodating to the process of what it is that we're trying to do, and they are like, and I feel like there's a level of understanding um, that we have, and I feel like that understanding really comes and stems from the fact that you're coming into the community and you're just being yourself, and you're just like, if you have a goofy sense of humor, and you have a laugh and have good banter, then this community is just fantastic for that, because people can just be themselves. People can just have banter and not feel judged, or you can't say or do this or do that, and no, you're getting off topic, you need to be talking about this, and this is what we're talking about. Like I've been in so many different projects where all they're talking about is price, and it's just like, this is just such a boring conversation, like an absolutely just boring conversation. And I get bored easily, and that's why people will leave communities. But our community is never boring. Actually, it's just full of fetishes and different awkward little sillies.
So I think we approached our time limit, but thank you for coming
I
on.
could keep going. I could talk to the cows come home. I know Bearded loves
Well,
to hear me ramble.
we would love
And
to have you ramble. Next time we'll have to get you on. I will say that you are on a better list than Morgan is on, because you at least showed up. I completely
hear
don't
that,
care
buddy?
about him anymore. Yeah, I'm over it. I moved on. So thank you for actually showing up.
Oh, absolutely. I wouldn't miss this for the world. I'm pumped. Like, a lot of people hear me talk about the project. I talk about it all the time. Anyone that knows on Spaces. So it's I think it's really fun and good to talk about, come on a podcast and actually talk like this, because it is different from the general project updates that I do and go through. So yeah, it's good to do these, and I think it's an amazing job of what you guys are doing. So everyone,
Thank you.
If you want to see me back on this podcast to rip Goodfoot's second interview when he does that, yeah, everyone listen to this, and I need to fucking beat Tom. Fuck that guy. Fuck you, Tom.
All right, so this is it for episode 15, and thank you for listening. And Alex, send nudes.